Good morning, everybody, or I say good morning because it is not even 6 a.m. right here, right now. I am just getting started on my cup of coffee, and I wanted to do a get ready with me style video, and it's about that time that I should be putting out a best in beauty video as well, so I thought I would just combine the two. I've got a really wide range of things I've been enjoying, and also just like a general look. Do you ever feel like you settle into kind of a zone of this is my best look? I mean, a lot of times I'm switching up little things here and there, always doing a different lip color, blah, blah, blah. But I feel like a look that I really like on myself involves getting my skin as sort of perfected as I can get it. No brainer there, everybody wants that. But kind of a simple eye and a bold, kind of rosy reddish type lip. I feel like that look works well on me. It's a very classic type look, but you know, whatever. Anytime I go with a red lip, somebody without fail in the comments will be like, you remind me of Snow White with this makeup. And I don't know, I think that's kind of cool. First off, I need to run and get this damp. So, posted a video on foundations that don't look like foundation. Really like all of those foundations. So, I'm just kind of choosing one to use in this video that I don't think you've seen me apply yet. And it's the Fiona Styles Luminous Finish Foundation Concentrate in 04. Doesn't the packaging kind of make you think of like a skyscraper or something? I love like that architectural kind of cool thing going on there. So I am using a pump of this, and I'm going to use my Real Techniques sponge and pick up a little bit of that. Yes, I've already moisturized, already primed. And I'm just gonna start dabbing this all over. It's one of those foundations with luminous in the name, but it doesn't go too crazy with that concept, you know? It looks natural, it looks nice, it looks like, okay, that's believable, you know, like skin could actually look that way, so that's why I like it. I always kind of like start with the under eye type area. It's like that's my biggest issue that I like to get all covered up, and then I can make sure I get enough foundation there, and if it is thinner like down the sides of my cheeks or somewhere, you know, I can be okay with that. And if I sound a little froggy this morning, I'm sorry. It's simply because I have not spoken to anyone yet today. It's you guys. So while the Beauty Blender can take a little longer and sometimes it feels just a little more tedious than a big thick brush, with certain foundations it just seems like the perfect way to apply it, so I go with it. And I really love my Real Techniques sponge, by the way. Got two of them. So as I was saying at the start of the video, I think everything I'm using in this video could be classified as a best in beauty type favorite. So my next thing is my Tarte palette here. It's the Wipeout color correcting palette, and I use these shades a lot and sometimes a little bit of the yellow. And if I'm feeling like doing some cream contouring, I've got this guy over here too. So I mean, really have just been going in like with a finger and applying some of that where I feel like I need it. So there's some darkness around the inner part of the eye, down in here, dab, dab, dab. Talk more about this in my peach correctors video, but I think they've got a really nice consistency in this palette. It's nice to see so many shades that really, like, there's enough creaminess, there's enough coverage, you know, it's not too thin and oily. And then I think I'm going to do a little added brightening with this yellow. I think I'll just take it like down the nose, up into this zone. Might do a couple dabs of it sort of right on top of the cheek area. Boop, boop, boop. And a little bit right here under the nose, oops, or wherever. And down here. Then I'm going to blend that out with my sponge. And this concealer responds really well to the sponge, I think. I feel like it's been so long since I've actually applied a full face of makeup on my channel. It seems that way to me anyway. Like, I've done a lot of demos and videos, which I think are valuable and necessary, you know, but just to show how certain things work and just little bits and pieces of the makeup routine or whatever product I'm talking about. But need to get into more, you know, full face type stuff too. And whenever I blend in concealer with the sponge, I kind of do another re-dab with the fingers, and it just kind of makes sure, okay, is that as blended in as it can possibly be? Because I think I'm going to do just a little bit of baking right now, because why not? I've got this L'Oreal Hydra Perfect loose powder, which I really like. I've got it in the shade Light, and I'm just going to use my blender sponge to dab some of this right in this area. And I feel like, I don't know, I don't ever use like as much powder as I sometimes see people use when they bake, but we're using a fair amount of powder here. And I don't do that every day, but one circumstance where I think it's valuable is when your concealer on the under eye is really, really creamy. I think that's where, like, I can totally feel that kind of reaction happening there between the concealer and the powder, and everything's gonna look super nice and perfected when that's all done. So I'm gonna let that sit on there for a while. I don't usually like put a timer on it, but I kind of get going on my eyes and do part of my eye makeup and then dust it away and sort of bounce back to the face makeup. The brow product that I've actually been using for like, I think it's 2 months now. I should probably be running out of this soon, is my ColourPop little pencil here in the shade Dope Taupe. And Dope Taupe is a shade that you might see a lot of blondes pulling out. And for me, as you can see, I've got a lot of brow. You might even look at it and be like, what needs to be filled in? Well, you know, I know my little places. There's a couple little places, you know, little spots where I feel the need to just go over them. And when it's just those little places, I really think a less intense shade like this, you know, a cool taupey color, can really be just perfect. So that's what I've been using. It's a fine pencil. It kind of reminds me of like Brow Wiz and the NYX Micro Brow, only it's a little softer. That's why I feel like I'm going to be using it up soon, because every time I get it out again, I always have to click it up a little bit more. Like it just wears down a bit faster. So just something to keep in mind, but it is a really nice little brow pencil. And if you do have, like I said, thick, dark brows and you're just going for minimal fill-in and you don't want that to look too intense, it's a nice little option. So last weekend, Bub's parents came up from Texas to visit us. We had a really nice weekend. They got to do a lot of hanging out with Belle, and gosh, we ate like kings. We went to Bob Evans. I don't know if you guys have a Bob Evans in your area, but Bub's dad loves Bob Evans, and it was, I think, might have been one of the first things we talked about was the fact that yes, there is a Bob Evans nearby, and maybe we should go there. And they just got great, like they serve all kinds of food, I think all day, but breakfasty food, it's just amazing. And we had Belle there, and she just went to town eating like any kind of breakfast food that we had on the table. Like she went after the scrambled eggs. She went after her pancakes. They brought out these pancakes that were shaped like a pig's face for her, and I about died. They were so cute. I think the only thing she really didn't get into was like sausage or bacon or anything like that, but literally anything else. Oh, hash browns, any kind of potato. Yep, she was game. So I guess she got some love for Bob Evans from her grandpa, but that was so fun to take her there. And this has the little spoolie brush on the end, by the way, so you can kind of brush it on through. And I guess I didn't really pull a brow gel that was a favorite this month, so I'll just kind of randomly, this is what I've been using, and it looks nasty. It's one of those, like, I don't really want to see the inside of my eyebrow clear gel because it turns not clear like instantly, but this is that e.l.f. Wet Gloss Lash and Brow. It's like $1, and I already used up one side and I'm about used up on this other side, but that's kind of been what I've been taking through the brows. It might be $2. It's a nice little gel, but I do go through it really fast. So on to the Simple Eye, my Milani eyeshadow primer. I feel like this has been solidified in my mind, even though I use this all the time. Like it's a constant favorite for me. I don't even really need to mention it because it's just one of those, like, yes, always a favorite. But I had Kaylee here recently, and I was singing its praises to her. I was singing its praises to Tyler's mom, you know, a couple days ago. So it just, I don't know. I'm realizing that for anyone who may not be using an eye primer, like it really is an important thing, and maybe I should mention it a little bit more. So I'm mentioning it and I'm using it. I use it all the dang time, and I just pat it all over the lid, just a sheer amount, you know, and then I kind of get it up into the crease and dab it up under the brow. You could use this kind of thing under the eye too if you wanted to, but most of our action today is going to be happening above the, did I say under the brow? Under the eye? Most of our activity today on the eyes is going to be happening on the top lid. And something that I think is just so great, these Physicians Formula quads. Okay, I've talked about the one in Canyon Classics and Quartz Quartet. For some reason, I never got the third one until more recently, and this one is called Classic Nudes. And yeah, it might seem like boring as all get out. As you look at it, you might be like, okay, most basic shades on the planet, but the textures are really, really nice. I've loved, you know, the pigmentation on these shadows, and it is just a nice little easy basic quad. Like, use it alongside something more shimmery or just use it on its own, and I don't know, it looks really finished, really natural. If you're just wanting that naturally contoured eye look, this is the way to go. So I'm going to take this brown right here, it's a little bit warm and light, E25. We're gonna crease it up. This kind of looks like the shade of my coffee right now. Speaking of coffee, do you guys have any favorite like K-cups that you're drinking lately? I got a, it was the Target house brand, white chocolate macadamia. Pretty good. Pretty good. I also think maybe one of my favorite like flavored coffees of all time. I don't always have to drink a flavored kind, you know, I can go with just, like we had the Maxwell House singles, those are fine. But the Gloria Jean's, or is it Gloria Jean's? I've always thought of her as Gloria Jean, and it's the hazelnut kind. That is so good. I mean, the fragrance, the aroma that's coming out of my Keurig when that stuff is coming into my cup is just a beautiful thing. I love it. Ever feel like a eyeshadow blender that doesn't know when to quit? Like you could keep going and going, like, oh, I need a little more on this side, now a little more on that side. It's like you got to be decisive with eyeshadow at some point and just be like, yeah, I'm done. I'm stopping there. I don't care. Okay, boom. And then I'm taking a little bit of this shade. And this, by the way, in transit, I ordered this off of Ulta's website, and this white shade like cracked, like half of it is gone, but I still think it's very usable. There's a lot there still, so I'm still going with it. But yeah, it only takes a little bit of a cracked powder shadow to make a huge mess in a box or a bag or whatever. And I think I am going to apply a little bit of that light shade here on the inner part of my lid. And yeah, these are all entirely matte, no shimmer. I like shimmer, but sometimes I just get in matte moods. Speaking of shimmer and matte, I was quizzing Belle the other day. She's got this like pretend play makeup. Some of it we ordered, some was sent to us, and it's really fun, and it looks so realistic. Like the little compacts, it's very adult looking, you know? And I was laying out a bunch of these sparkly ones, and there was one that happened to not have any sparkle on it, and so I was trying to like teach her the lesson, which one's matte, which one's shimmer, and she actually ended up getting it. And then she'd say, matte, matte. And there are people out there who are probably saying like, why the heck are you teaching your 18-month-old, 19-month-old about the difference between matte and shimmer? And the answer is because she could play with that stuff for like a straight hour and a half, and I'm sitting there like, need to teach the kid about something while we're up here. So I don't know if I really narrated what I just did there, but I put this on the creamy shade on the inner part of the lid, and a little bit of the brown just on the outer part of the lid. And then I think I'm going to take some more of this slightly deeper brown and just take that right here in the outer part of the crease just to deepen it up a bit more. You could do this kind of look if you don't have this particular quad. I'm sure you probably got these shadows floating around somewhere in your stash. So check it out, try it out. What else did we do while Bub's parents were here? I mentioned we ate like kings. And Saturday night we got Dairy Queen. Don't know if you guys have seen the Dairy Queen commercials where they're taking blizzards now and they're filling them with a core of some sort of goop, you know, like assorted goop. Like they're gonna put strawberry sauce in one of them, they're gonna put hot fudge in one of them, they're gonna put marshmallow cream in one of them. So that's the one I went with. It was like a, sorry, I need my brush here. It was a Rocky Road Blizzard. So it had brownie bites, peanuts, maybe something else, and it was like in a chocolatey seeming ice cream, and in the center there is a legit core of marshmallow sauce, and it was so dang good. I did not need to eat the whole thing because it was so sweet. You know, sometimes I feel like I've got as much of a sweet tooth as anyone out there, but I still have my limits, you know? It's like I can only do so much sweet sometimes, and then I need to hand it off to somebody else, and I don't know if it was too sweet for Tyler because I don't think he even finished it. The product that I'm using for my liquid eyeliner is not necessarily a favorite. I'm just kind of using it for this. In fact, it might be kind of a non-favorite because I started using this NYC liquid liner again, and I have been kind of disappointed a time or two. Like, it's definitely transferred around the inner part of the eye, like transferred down onto my lower inner rim and weird stuff around my inner corner. And I don't know why. I don't ever remember it doing that in the past, but I'm not really digging that about it. But I'm just kind of using it because I have it. So not a real favorite, just gonna use it. Now I'm gonna have to take a break from the chit chat and really concentrate here, okay? Birdies are chirping outside like crazy. I'm loving springtime, great temperatures. It's actually been a little bit cool this week, which I'm not complaining about because our AC went out on Sunday afternoon. We're getting an entirely new system. Dude's like, yep, the motor burned up. Okay, wonderful. And it's getting, I guess the age of the system was getting to where, you know, we could replace it, and we're going with something very energy efficient, so we'll probably see a real change in our power bills too, which is good. But they're not installing till the end of the week, so it's a good thing. It's been a pretty mild, if not cool, week around here. But the flowers outside, like, there is so much pretty landscaping around our place, and it's nothing I can take credit for because it was kind of like planted there by the people who owned the house before, and beautiful stuff like flowers, little trees, little shrubs. But I think the roses might be my favorite. Lots of roses around that are blooming in this, I put them on Snapchat a time or two, but this hot pink, like absolute bright magenta, like the perfect lip color, you know, in a flower form. That's what they are. It's just, they're gorgeous. I'm at that place where I'm like, I don't know if these wings are like even distant relatives here. I'm gonna use another thing that's pretty much right up there with the Milani eyeshadow primer in terms of being like a constant favorite that I don't always mention, but I am gonna mention now. It's my Shadow Eyes in Almond Cream. I'm gonna take this right here on the lower inner rim because, like I said, there's going to be most things happening with this look are going to be happening kind of above the eye. And there we go. There's a little bit of transfer already over here on this side. That might just be operator error. Then I'm going to dust away some of this powder that's been baking the under eye. And yeah, it looks real smooth and matte and even now. Yes, it does. And then I'm going to smudge a little bit of this brown just under the lower lash line here. Just keeping this on the very outer part of the eye, like just under the wing and like the outer fourth of the lower lash line. And taking a little break from the eyes, I'm going to do some bronzing. This is my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. And it's one that I think I kind of, maybe I hauled it and I knocked it a little bit because I didn't really see a lot of color coming off of it. It smells like absolute suntan lotion to me, 100%. But it is kind of a nice little light bronzer slash light contour for me. Like I can kind of take it down in this zone and it looks really soft, but kind of realistic. I'm kind of all about the soft, barely there contour right now. Just put that right in there. And it's maybe got a little bit of a satiny finish, but nothing too shimmery by any means. So I like that. Take it down the neck, a little bit up around the hairline as well. Can we talk about this? This is the Benefit Dandelion Dew. So this is their like liquefied pink type liquid blush, okay? So yeah, it's liquefied, it would be a liquid. I have said, you know, I don't really like the dandelion blush because I feel like it's too light, it's too subtle, and an odd thing has happened because I got the Cheekathon palette and I swatched the dandelion in the Cheekathon palette side by side with my old dandelion that I have in just a single, and I swear the Cheekathon palette one is more pink and more colorful than the other. The other is a little more dull, like just kind of a light, barely there pink. And the one in the palette seems like a different shade to me. So let me know your thoughts. Has anyone else noticed that? But outside of those powder products, I'm really liking this product because look, it's very pinky and it has a lot of nice pigment on the skin. It's not going to be a real glowy thing. I pumped out way too much. I should have known better. But I'm going to pick some up with a small stipple brush and just kind of dab it here on the cheeks and see how much color comes off of this. And it's so pretty and just fresh looking. I can't get over that shade. Like, is this a fresh springtime cheek or is this a fresh springtime cheek? And the packaging on this is so cute. I love that. My favorite highlight, which I believe was my favorite last month, but it's still a favorite. I love this stuff. Has anyone tried this over the course of the past month and can tell me how much they like it too? It's the Filter Finish Setting Powder in Universal from Laura Geller. So it looks kind of like almost color corrective, but it's just the prettiest glow. And you could totally use this all over the skin, but there's something about the look of it when it's right on top of the cheek that just makes me, love it. And it's kind of nice to pair with that Dandelion Dew because there's really no shimmer in that product. So I kind of take it down the nose as well, maybe a little bit up in here above the brow area. And then I'm going to spray all over with my Glossier Soothing Face Mist, my Rose Water Spray. I think I'm kind of running low on this now, actually. I might need to pick up another. A lot of sprays. Oh, it's going in my coffee. Next up, I'm just going to curl my lashes. Garbage Man's here, yay! This is CoverGirl Supersizer, of course. Trying the newest one kind of reinforced my love for the original. So I'm just going to apply a little bit of that, and then I'm going to do a really thick lash with this look. See, that's what I kind of like a really thick lash, but with a barely there kind of eyeshadow look paired with it. I think it looks really pretty. Can't remember where this came from. It might have been ladymoss.com. I got this cute little like eyelash holder case here. Some of them don't exactly like to stay in their place, but that's what they look like in there. It holds 3 sets, and I'm going to use these, I believe they're the Cocoa Lashes in Queen Bee. They're really voluminous. Sometimes when I put them on, I'm like, oh no, they're too big, they're too much, but eventually I seem to, you know, be okay with the fact that they're huge. Just had one of those moments where you look down and you're like, where's the other lash? I don't know where I set it. That happens to me all the time. These lashes really do kind of make me feel like a fairy princess though, so that's always nice. Sometimes you need that. I'm also going to just dab a little mascara at the base here and a little bit on the lower lash line. Yes, I was reminded as I was retesting this to compare it alongside the Supersizer Fibers. I can get away with wearing this one on the lower lashes and it won't smudge. I don't know what TV shows you guys are enjoying right now, but I fully binged on Bates Motel for a while there, and now we are totally caught up. And I love it. But there's always something going wrong. You'll have like maybe 2 minutes of something seeming normal and right in that show, and then like somebody does something. I don't want to talk too much about it or else I'll give something away. But the whole Sheriff Romero thing, I had tweeted about his eyelashes and how fabulous his lash line looks. It's so thick. And apparently he was like born with an extra row of lashes, you know, bummer for him. But I had tweeted about it, and I was tweeted back countless times from people who, you know, thought, yeah, does he wear eyeliner? Is he just blessed with an amazing lash line? And then finally someone had tweeted me a little clip of a makeup artist working on him, and it was showing them going in with some concealer on the lash line to actually lessen the effect of his natural lashes. Can you imagine? Yeah, it is pretty amazing. But not to take anything away from his acting, because I think he's a fabulous actor, but you know, when you're into makeup, things like people's amazing eyelashes tend to stand out to you. And all that is left is lips, and I'm going to go with the shade that I think is like the shade of my past month that I really liked, and it's kind of, I don't know, I might describe it as like a soft red, or maybe even a red with a little bit of pink in it. A great example of that shade is this one from MAC. It's a cream sheen, and the shade is called Nice to Meet You. And this is really comfortable on the lips as well, but you'll see what I mean like when I get it on here. The color, it almost looks more reddish in the tube, and you can see a little more pink when it's on the lips, you know? It's just like a reddish pink, and it's kind of bold. And I think it's really pretty this time of year. It's kind of the color I associate with the word poppy. If someone says poppy, like, it makes you think of this kind of pinkish red. But aren't cream sheens from MAC like the best? I love that shine. You know, it's maybe a little more sheer than some other lipsticks. Like if you tried a matte lipstick from MAC, it would come off probably more opaque and intense than this. But it's just, I don't know, fun, springy, summery type color. And at this point, I do want to mention a few things that are favorites that didn't get used in this particular look. And that would be the CoverGirl Outlast lipsticks. I could have just as easily went with one of these. I love all those shades that I mentioned in the Hidden Gems of the Drugstore video. I tried them all on in that video, so check that out. But I just pulled out Fireball, which was the first one I got, and it's a really pretty orange. And also kind of an everyday easy shade is Magnetic Mauve, and so that's going to be a little bit cooler, deep pink. And then just a couple other things for cheeks that I love. This Makeup Revolution, the One Highlight Contour Stick, and it just has a beautiful sheen on the skin. It's great for if you really wanted an intensely highlighted effect, you know, dab some of this on the cheek and then follow it up with a powder highlight, and you would just be glowing for days. Like, it's gorgeous. And then another blush that I like, because I just can't use all the blushes at the same time, but this Milani Baked Blush in Bellissimo Bronze. Very, very pretty, summery, kind of peachy golden blush is the way I would put that. If that's ringing a bell, I also mentioned that in the Hidden Gems video too. So yeah, this is kind of my general look that I'm really liking. Some glowing skin, sort of a simple eyeshadow, very exaggerated lashes, and a bright lip. That's kind of my springtime go-to right now. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm probably going to put a bra on and a different shirt and maybe redo this bun. Not necessarily take my hair out of the bun, but just neaten up the bun a little bit, and then I'll be good to go for the day. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you later. Bye.